to build a 10-minute breathwork practice for inner calm. Let's get started. So, in this session, we're going to go through the breathwork basics. We're going to give you techniques to try, and we're also going to kind of like put it all together on um, the best way to utilize these techniques and when to use them, especially if you're thinking about having creative block or you're feeling anxious, you have decision fatigue, or even just those SOS moments. So, we're going to put those all together and then we're going to have a nice little wrap up before for you at the end. Some reminders before we start this session. Nothing during this webinar should be construed as medical advice. I am a certified doula and childbirth educator and coach, but you watching this webinar does not establish a client doula relationship. I gotta remove that one. Okay. See, it's good to practice. It's good to practice. So let me first tell you a little bit about my backstory as how I got really started with breath work. And it all started with my birth, where I vividly remember my midwife after after I delivered my lovely baby boy, that she looked at me and was like, "Are you sure this was your first kid? Because you pushed that baby out like a pro. Like in 5 pushes, you knew what to do, you knew how to breathe." Um, and she was just floored. Like she was just so impressed. And so that's where it kind of started for that. Then I had postpartum anxiety, and I knew that I could utilize the same techniques through to calm my anxiety. So that was kind of my experience. And then through that experience as well, I then became a doula and I started supporting families in the same intense moments of this human experience of birth, and knowing that there are techniques in birth that give you an efficient push, that help you um, with breathing, that this was something that I can easily apply to in my doula practice. So that's kind of how I was introduced and really kind of took breath work by storm. Of course, add on there diving into yoga and prenatal yoga, postpartum yoga, like postpartum recovery, like it all makes sense. So, with that deep dive, like my background, I have a master's in education. I'm really like kind of that blend of woo woo and science and research. And so I'm not just somebody who teaches this woo woo breath work and mindset and mindfulness stuff. I teach like specific proven scientific techniques for, actually, let me add that scientific for specific situations. I teach scientific proven techniques for maybe a variety of situations. I don't like specific. Okay. So in this webinar today, you're going to be learning 3 breathwork techniques that I teach to people in labor, but that of course can be adapted for creative blocks, decision fatigue, and that daily overwhelm. So let's get into the breathwork basics. What is breath work? This is more than just inhaling and exhaling. It's an intentional practice. It's something that can actually be impacted by things like stress, by anxiety, by your posture. Most people, like 1 in 10 adults, actually don't have a proper breath, meaning they have shallow breathing. So, with that, we are not getting as much oxygen as we should in our lungs and in our cells. And that can actually impact, without that proper breath, it'll impact how we regulate our nervous system, how our digestion, how our metabolism works, our mood and our energy as a female, our hormones, and just cell production. It's so much more than just that inhale and exhale. So it's really interesting how breath work can be something So dynamic, so simple, and yet so dynamic at the same time. So let's go into the breathwork techniques. Yes. So, what are they? There are so many variations within breathwork, but I want to just cover the top six that most people know and can take to and really learn pretty easily. So, the first one, see, I don't have that scripted out. That's the one I got to do. Hey, Jane. Okay, so the first one is called the 4-7-8 breathing technique. This is something you're that you're inhaling for 4 breaths. You're actually holding your breath for 7 breaths, and then you're having an exhale for 8 counts. I shouldn't say breaths, counts. So this is a very structured counting technique. With that technique, this is one that is very, again, scientifically proven to break you out of an anxiety or panic situation. So if you are in, um, hyperstimulated, your sympathetic nervous system is skyrocketing, the 4-7-8 breathing technique is something that you would go to. Um, and it's a great reset. So the second one most people know about is box breathing. This is really helpful because it does pair with visualization. Because if you think about a box, right, typically a box is equal sides, 4 sides, all equal. So you'll have an inhale for 4, a hold for 4, an exhale for 4, hold for 4, and you're making that square. You're going in a square. So that's what a box breath is. Um, Number 3 is an alternate nostril breath. This is something, again, it's a focused breathing technique. Most people are, I think it's something like 60% of people are actually mouth breathers. So to really focus your breathing through your nostril, so you're inhaling through your nostril and then you're um, exhaling through your mouth, and then you switch. So it's just alternating the nostril. I forget. Um, oh, actually, sorry, I did that wrong. You do, see, I have to work on this slide. Okay. You actually inhale. So you inhale through one nostril and you exhale through the other. And you just keep doing that. Inhale through one, exhale through the other. So that's the alternate nostril technique. That one is great for mental clarity. So if you're looking at like decision fatigue, things like that, that's one that can help you through that as a reset. Number 4 is the extended exhale. One of my favorites. This is like my go-to, especially for birth. But you are, and also it's really helpful for getting to sleep. So if you are having trouble calming yourself down, why? Oh my gosh. All of a sudden, I had like really nice music in the background, and then there was an ad. Oh gosh, I need to get YouTube Premium. So okay, so the extended exhale. Basically, after you inhale, you could do a regular box inhale, so a 4 count inhale. On the exhale, you're extending for 8 to 10 counts as long as you can. Um, and again, that extended exhale is really, really helpful for if you do have some racing thoughts, especially like if you're laying down in bed and all of a sudden you're like, oh, all the lists, all the to-do lists. do the extended exhale. And if you can, if you are pregnant and you're preparing for birth, then you're looking at focusing that extended breath through, pretend like you're blowing out a straw. Number five, a lot of people hear about diaphragmatic breath, also known as belly breath, right? So this is where you can, if you're practicing this, this is great when you're sitting at your desk. If you're in your car, you're feeling stressed, you just make sure that you are sending your inhale down to your belly. Your belly is extending. And a great way to kind of make sure and track that is you can put your hand on your belly so that you feel your belly extend. And this kind of ties into what I was mentioning to you before about the shallow breath. We don't want a shallow breath because if you shallow breathe, you tend to keep that in here in your chest and in your shoulders, where you're like up here. We don't want to be up here. We want to be here. We want to be down here. That's where we want to be. And number six, you might hear like a humming breath or a vocalization breath. That is something that you see common in yoga because you're not only utilizing the breath to calm your nervous system, but you are also using your vocal cords to bring down your vagus nerve and your nervous system regulation. So you can either do a hum or you can do the, yogis do the oh, but very like kind of deep, um, round sounds for that. So these are the top six. Again, there are so many different variations. You can look into them, but this is the basics, and this is where are the foundations that I tend to teach from. So let's learn how to breathe. Oops. So let's learn how to breathe. First, we're going to start with grounding. And we talked about the box breath, the four breaths, the 4 count breaths. This is the foundation of your breathwork practice. I teach this because your body already knows how to ground itself. We just got to remember, we just got to get you there. So you're going to learn how to take 3 deep breaths, where you can put your hands if you are in a place where you can take your hands, like you can do this in the car. So if you're driving, don't take your hands off the wheel. But these are great, easy practices that you can apply in everyday situations. So let's find your breath. I know I have too much going on. I need to have like one script. I need to have one with a script and one. Okay. This is good practice, guys. This is why I always practice. This is why I always practice. Box breath. All right, grounding. We're grounding today. All right, so welcome to the grounding breath. For the next few minutes, we're going to practice coming home to your body wherever you are and whatever you're carrying. This is a practice I teach to people navigating some of life's most intense moments. And what I've learned is this, that your body already knows how to ground itself. Okay, I did this. So let's find your breath. Find a comfortable position, whether that's seated, standing, you can be lying down. These are all great options, and there's no wrong way to do this. So when you're ready, if you feel comfortable, if you're in a place, a safe place where you can close your eyes, gently close your eyes. If you are not able to close your eyes, that's okay. You can practice with your eyes open. Just maybe soften your gaze, focus on something, or even look down towards the floor. Now let's start by simply noticing your breath. You don't need to change anything yet. Just notice. Notice your inhale. Notice your exhale. Is your breath shallow or deep? Fast or slow? Is it smooth or choppy? Whatever you notice is okay. Now, if you can, with your hands, place one hand on your heart and one hand on your belly, feeling the warmth of your hands. Now, let's take 3 intentional breaths together. Breathing in slowly through your nose. We're doing that for 4 counts. And exhale fully through your mouth for 4. Again, breathe in for 4, 2, 3, 4. And release 2, 3, 4. One final time. Filling your lungs completely for 4 breaths. And let it all go. Beautiful. And that's your basics of a grounding breath with box breathing, where you inhaled for 4, held for, see, that's what I need to do. I need to hold for 4. I didn't hold for 4. I have to adjust that. Okay. Grounding. Now that we've found our box breath, we can set an intention for this moment that my only job right now is to be here.
Stuff.
What's up?
Blue stuff.
Blue stuff? You need some? Okay, I will clean that for you.
Okay, just let me know.
Thank you, baby. My only job right now is to be here in this body with this breath. And that's your intention. And for the next minute or so, continue breathing at your own pace. With each inhale, you're inhaling calm and steadiness, and exhaling any tension, any rushing, any creative blocks that you have. Inhale presence, exhale tension. Inhale creativity, exhale frustration. Now, as we come out of this breath, we're going to move your fingers and toes, wiggle them just a little bit. Take your hands off of your heart and your belly, put them on your legs, and when you're ready, open your eyes. And just notice how you feel. Do you feel calmer? Do you feel more grounded, more centered? Maybe just here. Maybe you came back to the present. Your mind, your thoughts stopped racing. That's all you need. That's enough. And that's your grounding breath. Use that anytime you need to kind of come back, center yourself, and come back into your body. It's great for before a big meeting. Like if you have an anxiety going into the dental office or doctor's office, use it for that. Even just a difficult moment. You know, you get that email that, oh, I've got to call or talk to my boss or something. Like, whew, great thing to do. All right, so now let's move into the second. Okay, so this one's at the bottom. See, I've got to put these into. Okay. Mm-hmm. Great. Extended exhale, extended exhale. Okay, so now let's look at what I like to call the creative block breaker with utilizing the extended exhale, right? That 8+ count on the exhale. And I love this one as a simple one because it activates that vagus nerve so instantly to move from freeze to flow. So if you are just kind of like in your head, you have racing thoughts, and you just do a really long extended breath. Um, Again, so you inhale through your nose, pretend you have a straw. When you exhale, focus breath. As long as you can. And if you fill your belly up the right way, you'll you'll feel it deflate like a balloon. So we're going to use this. We're going to learn how to exhale tension without intensity of holding your breath. That's the difference between the extended exhale and the 4-7-8 exhale, is that you hold your breath on that one. The extended exhale, you're clearing it all out. So let's breathe through a breakthrough. Here we go. Let's start with our 3 breaths of 3 grounding breaths. Find your breath. All right, so now let's breathe in. We're going to breathe in for a count of 4 through your nose, and we're going to slowly exhale for 8 counts out of your mouth. So let's try this together. Breathe in through your nose. 1, 2, 3, 4. Exhale slowly through your mouth, counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, great job. Great job. And notice that like that longer exhale is like just releasing everything, like opening that door of tension and just it's like getting it all out. So let's do that one more time. And with this next exhale, I want you to imagine like letting it go. That you are just like blowing the shit away. Okay. Ready? Inhale through your nose. 4, and exhale. Love it. Good. Now that's just getting your body to shift from being stuck to flow. And I love it. Now, you tell me to make more space. Okay. Okay. So that's your extended breath. See, that one's easy. That one's easy. Now, if you are really feeling anxious, you're feeling so tight and caught up, and whether it is, true anxiety or not, this is very helpful to um, help you come out of some of that panic that you might feel. And if you feel it in your body where you have heart palpitations, sweating, and things are just starting to feel elevated, this is where you want to head into that 4-7-8 breathing. You're going to learn the structure of a breath, and counting through that, because that structure paired with the counting is really wonderful as a focal point for an anxious mind. And sometimes you can even pair that with, like, if you're doing your hands, you can pair that with tapping. So you could tap your counts. So you're like, inhale, hold, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's your exhale with the tap. So now let's go ahead and breathe out of this creative chaos together. Okay, so we're going to do this powerful technique called 478. How it works, you're going to breathe in for 4. We're going to hold for 7. We're going to exhale for 8. This counting gives your mind something to do. Okay, I just said that. Let's do this together. I'll count for you. Let's do this together, and I'll count for you. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Go ahead and inhale. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now hold your breath gently for 7 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And exhale slowly through your mouth for 8 counts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Good. Your body just got a clear message that you are safe. Let's do this again. We're going to do this 2 more times so that you can kind of feel the cadence. And if you want to, on that third one, you can try the tapping. Again, it's really helpful when you're doing your inhale and exhale. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Got it. Beautiful. Do you feel that? You feel that your heart rate is slowing down? And that is not woo-woo magic. That is your nervous system, your vagus nerve, responding to signals you just gave it to bring it down. I love it. You got anxiety. Okay. So now I notice, like, okay, so what shifted in your body? See, I think where am I at? 27 minutes. This is half. It's 30 minutes. It's 30 minutes. And I had some flub, so I'm actually I said 10 minutes. This can be 10 minutes. Okay. So let's end this session with a wonderful intention. I breathe in wholeness and creativity, and I exhale all that doesn't serve me. Thank you so much for participating. Make sure you check us out at the40daydoula.com. Follow me on my socials at the40daydoula. Oh my gosh. For more parenting, coaching, wellness, mental health, all the things.